So after just ending that live stream on how to make a full-fledged game, I was thinking, you know, it got into more advanced concepts. It just used if statements to a potential which not everybody knows about. So I thought it would be great if I made a video just on some basic to advanced if statements. So you can just launch your Scratch. I'm going to actually just have to create a new project. So obviously I'm going to say full-fledged game, but my projects, which is located, I think, in my desktop. It's probably gonna work best. I'm going to. I don't know why I'm asking you guys this stuff. I'll just call this Scratch. Here. Probably misspelled mobile, but who cares? This is finally getting our hands on a new Scratch project. It's been so long since I'm programming using Scratch. But Scratch is almost every language because it deals with concepts and circles that every language would deal with. So, if statements. Let's go. There's if else, and there's also one more statement that's kind of associated with it. I don't know if Scratch has it, but it's called the else statement. But an if else statement goes inside an if statement. So here's how it works. For more in depth, but for the basics, an if statement is a condition. It's running certain blocks of code only under certain conditions. I know that's a really bad explanation. Your computer science teacher would probably forbid the watching of these videos if he saw how I explain variables. But yeah, so just get my computer. Well, I'm just gonna create a really complex variable. So this might be one variable. I mean, not a variable. If statement. Sorry, if statement. If statement will look like a pretty standard one for a game, actually, kind of looking really complex. But all it is it's saying, okay, computer, just look at this as one block. So if, let's take this out. So if touching, if the sprite is touching the white background, okay, so that allows us to continue to the next block of code. So that gets us through to the next block. So let's actually just power this with a few things just to make sure it applies forever, but this is the actual statement. We'll just take it out to work with it. Okay, so we've taken it down to 1 line. Now if one 0 plus 1. 0 plus 1 equals if 3 if 1 equals 1. So now I've gotten to another block of code. So there's no else. So else, so 1 doesn't equal 1, nothing's gonna happen. So this is pretty common though, but so whenever 1 doesn't equal 1, if not, we'll just say. But it gets complicated, so let's just leave it at that. So the final thing, which is actually the statement, like right now it wouldn't matter, but because we're not really doing anything. We're just making sure stuff exists so that we can continue. But we actually get down to the final thing where it's the smallest, I guess, in here. This is where the code they insert. Why somebody might do triple if and else's blocks of code is you're trying to just basically make sure that things happen and give certain time. Like for a successful game in Scratch, you're gonna need like lots of ridiculous if statements just to make sure variables line up, everything works properly. You know, you're going to need that. So let me actually duplicate this block of code. I don't know if I can. Duplicate. I like using this duplicate tool. So just pow. Okay, I just got it forever. So let's just make I call these constructive statements. Just give me an if statement, if else. I don't know why I call it constructive. It just sounds good. But it's called if statement and if else. But what an if statement is really, it's only a line with an if statement. Let me just zoom in. I don't know if you can see, but what it does is it simply an if statement is like, all right, computer, I understand. All right, computer. I'm gonna do my computer expression. If 1 equals 1, I want you to make me a coffee, cappuccino. Okay, so that's the general idea. If you can get that, then you already know this. You skip this lesson, Scratch lesson, which most people probably do just grasp it from everyday life. You can kind of grasp. So you might understand why this goes together. I'm just having fun kind of playing around with the box of code. I actually know what everything means. It's just, while talking, I tend to drift in my Scratch. I don't know. Maybe one of these days when I'm making a tutorial, I accidentally create. God knows what. But yeah. So this has just been very brief on why we would use like all these sorts of different things. I actually click in my cursor and changes. It's kind of awkward. It's my cursor here. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting distracted here. That's it for this tutorial, guys. If you like this, yeah, don't forget, rate this video, like it, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Alright, once you've done all that, request a tutorial, and then, well, your ideal tutorial will be made. Your series or whatever. So, see you guys in